What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank y'all for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, friends and family? I see y'all inside of the chat. What's happening? OBJ says, can I don't know what that means. What's up, friends? I keep seeing this Odell Beckham Jr. conversation about this $100 million. And this is from a while ago when he appeared on the pivot, but it's now becoming a thing because apparently he had to respond to Shannon Sharp and he went back and forth with him. So we're going to go into that today. What's going on? How do I become a bag chaser? The link is pinned to the top of the chat for you to become a bag chaser. What's up, friends? How y'all feeling? Did y'all enjoy the show yesterday? Sick in bed, but I don't miss your show. You can watch this show in the bed. You know what I'm saying? What's up, friends? I'm trying to figure out if I want to go to the game tonight. When you're doing the season tickets, really, you buying the tickets, the season tickets for the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? You're buying the season tickets for the playoffs. You're not necessarily just you're getting it so you can preserve a seat in the playoffs, kind of, sort of. Especially when your team is going into the playoffs. So it's pretty standard that we know that the Pistons is going to the playoffs. Shout out to the Lions for beating the Cowboys yesterday. Shout out to the Lions for beating the Cowboys yesterday. We led the entire game. What you talking about? It's so good to be in the football conversation as a Detroiter every year now. You hitting the skating rink tonight? I might hit the skating rink tomorrow. I might hit it tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know. You should go to the game. Why should I go to the game, Keisha? We only play in Portland. Ain't nothing happening in Portland. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing happening in Portland. So we play in Portland. If I go, I'm going to step in and step out. Come in second quarter, leave after the third. I don't want to stick around too long. Oh, man. Patreon live stream yesterday. So the way I do my Patreon live streams is that I do the Patreon live stream and then I pull it down and then I upload it. I upload it for rewatching to re-review. So I take it off of the platform that I stream it on and I put it on a better platform for y'all to go and rewatch it. So for all of y'all that didn't catch it, you got to go rewatch it. For those of you that watched it, It's too much information. We specifically talked about business, having a business mindset, and it was insane. It was absolutely insane. And I'm not glazing myself either. I'm telling you the absolute honest to God truth. Real talk. So if you are a bag chaser, go and watch the video if you didn't catch it. If you did catch it, go and rewatch it. If you're not a Patreon member, you're seriously missing out because I'm giving you like seriously millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of insight, game, understanding, and it's insane. So if you don't ever say that you're not getting everything that you need. You know what I'm saying? There's people out here that can truly tell you, that can truly teach you. You were pure energy last night, just pouring information. I couldn't help. I had to stop myself because I knew that I had to go and do the live stream, and it was insane. It was really insane. So I re-uploaded it for you guys. And the link to the Discord is in the description of that video too. So if you're not on the Discord, if you're having trouble getting on the Discord, let me know. I was gonna open up the Discord to the public, and the bag chaser said, we're not having it, Anton. We're not having it. So shout out to y'all. Let me acknowledge some of the people that's rocking out with me. I want to acknowledge let me first acknowledge PayPal people. It's Freestyle Friday, baby. So we gonna figure it out. We definitely gonna figure it out today. We gonna determine how it goes. Somebody said, Anton, how do you stream so much, or how do you get to the point to where you can stream that much? Get it in. Get it in, man. Like you gotta work. You gotta work it. If you check the PayPal, I mean not the PayPal, the Patreon yesterday, you'll see why. You'll see why. The Patreon live streams is my best live streams by far. Doris Stinson, I want to say I appreciate you for sending me and holding me down on PayPal. I really do. I genuinely appreciate you, Doris. Spencer Campbell, what up, though? Says Bag Chaser for life. Mike, that dude. What up, Mike, that dude? I appreciate you for holding me down, Mike. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me see what else is going on. Tropical Empress, what up, Trop? Looking good as usual. Many blessings, handsome Anton, and your beautiful self and your beautiful soul. I appreciate you and thank you for being a bag chaser. Jason Jocelyn says, do you agree hip hop died with Pac and Biggie? I don't. You can't. It's still alive right now. Absolutely not. Martin Muhammad says, good morning, good brother. UAD High. What up, UAD High? My Cubs in the building. We up in here. Loved the video of you passing out money on woodwork. Very inspirational. I appreciate you, family. Yeah, I need to really start like getting these videos out. I got so much content. I probably got like 5 days worth of content just stacked that I haven't even released for my vlog channel, for the Darth Anton channel. Just join the Patreon and the Discord, ready to add value. Bag Chasers Unite. What up, Bad Habits? I got so much content, man. I have so much stuff that I haven't even dropped. I did send you a DM on IG. Okay, let me get myself together. I'll check it after the show. Oh, Sunday nights be fun. Yeah, Sunday nights do be fun. Let me see what's happening in these streets real quick. Oh, I see it. All right, cool. We in there. Who do you consider the best political strategist between Cheney and Kissinger? Kissinger, all day long. Henry Kissinger is the best political strategist ever. All presidents, almost every single president while he was alive, tapped in, whether it was Obama or Clinton or Bush. It didn't matter if you was Democrat or Republican. Henry Kissinger is quite possibly one of the greatest political strategists and one of the most diabolical people that you could probably ever study and understand. Ever. Ever. Shout out to V Nicole RN in the building. I see y'all are getting prettier. What's up with all of the girls getting prettier every day? Happy Friday, my friend nurses. Absolutely love AD. Hashtag bag chaser. What up, V Nicole? Honestly, I think I have the prettiest women in the chasers, on the panels, in the chat. I have the most gorgeous, and I'm not just talking about on the outside. I'm talking about on the inside. I think I have the sweetest, prettiest people that hold me down by far, without a doubt. Jamal Parks says, out of curiosity, do you see a pending economic collapse similar to 2008 due to how much personal debt most Americans have? Knowing what you know now, could you have predicted 2008 back then? Absolutely. 100%. I don't think the collapse is going to be as... All right, so let me take 10 minutes to speak to this. I think that there will be a reset. I don't even look at 2008 was manufactured. That was a manufactured collapse of our economy. All right, I need y'all to understand that. When you study and you look at it and you see how it was put together, 2008 was put together all the way from 94. 94 was, let's just say the early 90s. The early 90s, today, all right, so let me tell you the difference between today and then, all right? Then, in the 80s, everybody was broke. In the 80s, everybody was broke, right? So what happened was you start seeing a lot of growth in the United States of America, but the difference is that we still had industries. It was a lot of things that was going on politically that caused for a lot of changes within our industry. So, for example, you're talking about high gas prices, no jobs, the crack epidemic. It was a lot of crime. It was a crime wave that was happening across the United States of America. The 70s and the 80s absolutely destroyed the United States. But we still had a lot of industries. We had trains. We had the auto industry. We had cable was booming. Media was rising. So what happened in the 90s was that because we started to evolve in a technological era and you started to see the internet come about, we started selling off other industries because we were more focused on the financing. And so we mortgaged our future so that we can benefit, so that people in the 90s, then the 80s and the 90s can truly benefit. So what we did was we start partnering globally because we start focusing more on the affordability crisis. All right, now you about to get me into my bag. The affordability crisis started in the late 80s, early 90s. All right. And the reason that the affordability crisis started was because we started focusing more on moving more products through financing. And instead of having a balance between manufacturing and financing, we started focusing on short money. The United States of America through the 90s and the 2000s was short money, meaning, or it was fast money, meaning that we cared more about, and that's when you start seeing arbitrage in so many industries. You've seen Enrons, you've seen the financing industry, the banking industry absolutely boomed. And then you also had manufacturers of war. The manufacturing of war wasn't so much about taking advantage of other countries as much as it was about distracting us from what was happening here inside of the United States of America. Bush would have been a one-term president. The second Bush would have been a one-term president, in my opinion, had we not had 9/11, right? So what happened in the early 90s was that we started to really have an affordability crisis, but to solve for it, we started allowing for people to finance, and this is the 80s and the 90s, do more financing than ever before. We started promoting lower interest rates, longer terms, affordability of cars, and we didn't innovate because we started to sell off the United States of America.
That's when you started to see the rise of China. You started to see more rise in Vietnam. You started to see the rise of other countries that was able to produce products cheaper because we outsourced to them. We started sending all of our manufacturers, and not just the auto industry, we sent all of our manufacturers overseas so that companies can get higher profits, the margins. That's the only thing we cared about in the 90s, and the margins. And that's why I said previous generations sold us out, because they were more focused on trying to make sure that they increase margins, because we didn't have lower prices, even though we were manufacturing products cheaper, we were having record profits, but that's because they was trying to increase the margins, the profitability of the companies. They wasn't necessarily trying to save Americans money. So that's when the affordability crisis started, is because we started having more costs, but to solve for it and to keep people distracted, we manufactured war and we pushed financing on people. So you would think that back then we were actually generating more revenue because, or people were doing better because jobs were being created that wasn't making anything. You're talking about mortgages, financing, technological, the dot-com boom and bust. All of that stuff started to take off in the 90s. All right. 2004, 2005, 2006, you start seeing signs of a collapse because the banks got greedy and people in general got greedy because they wanted to continue to own and finance anything. But we didn't have that balance. And the balance was that we still didn't make anything. So we were largely depending on monies financing in order to generate more revenue, which is why the banks became too big to fail. Clinton and the first Bush, the second Bush, all of them, they sold us out. They mortgaged our future. They did the North American Free Trade Agreement. They subsidized China. They built up China. Clinton and all of them, they the ones that built up China. They made China a superpower, right? So they shipped all of our jobs off. The Chinese then stole all of our technology. And then eventually we didn't have no industries to depend on. So when they said that the banks was too big to fail, it was because that was the largest industry, because everybody was laying off in order to cut costs. And then we start innovating more in order to save some of these companies. That's when you've seen the bailouts of the auto companies. That's when you've seen the bailouts of the mortgage industry. That's when you've seen the bailout of the banks. So 2008 was truly a reset, but it was a reset from the perspective of all of the stuff that we had manufactured, we had to pay for in 2008. So you had to see a crash. You had to see a reset of the prices. Homes was going for astronomical prices and all of that. Now, this is the difference between now and then. All right. Now we're resetting from continuing to try to save the economy and then inflate prices and inflate, what we have going on, because we have to what Trump is doing right now is he's telling all of these countries, telling all of these companies, and he's forcing them to say, listen, there's going to be a lull, but we have to build up what's here in America because we got to bring industries back. We got to bring manufacturing back. We got to do all of that. So now what we're doing is we're trying to reset the opposite way and say, bring industry back, kick out all of these people that's doing stuff that's not necessarily adding value, and let's make America first, and let's bring all of our own jobs. Let's do all of our own stuff, and let's get it back together. So basically what we're doing today is we're trying to kick people off the nipple while at the same time bring all of our manufacturing back and bring all of our jobs back, right? You gotta have a reset, not just of the prices, not just of the industry, but you gotta have a reset of how we do business altogether. So it's almost like the reverse. So when people say, well, is there going to be an economic collapse? It depends on what you call an economic collapse. Innovation is always going to move. Money is always going to move. But the reset is completely different than what you've seen in 2008. 2008, we had to pay for mortgaging off our manufacturing industry and beefing it up because everybody got greedy with the banks and with financing, because that was the biggest industries that we had. It had basically took over everything that we had made in the United States of America. Nowadays, the reset is almost man-made. It's like we got to go through some shit so that we can save this country for our children. That's what it is. You said a reset is already happening. Kind of, sort of. Not really. Not really. I don't think so. I don't think it's happening the way that you think it's happening. I think the reset is completely different today. I think the reset is completely different today. So, in order to save America, we can't keep doing the stuff that we've done over the last 20 years. When you see people say stuff like, oh my God, look at it, it used to be different than it was, it has to be different. It has to be different because we basically did a Ponzi scheme. The United States of America did a Ponzi scheme. We mortgaged our future and our children's future, and we gave them jobs and we subsidized them and we ran up the national debt. And so you got to deal with that shit. We got to deal with it. Eventually, you got to deal. It's almost like taking out a student loan and not paying it, right? The United States of America took out a $200,000 student loan, and now we can't afford the interest. But we partied over the last 25 years, right? We partied over the last 25 years. We had a ball. But we had this mindset like, because we didn't pay our debt, like they don't pay their student loan debt, because you was on an income-based, or you went into forbearance on your debt, that you had a better lifestyle. No, you just wasn't paying your motherfucking bills. You wasn't paying your bills. So even when people say, I see somebody mention, your car mentioned Social Security. If you're depending on Social Security when you retire, when you retire, you really gambling. You're gambling. If you're depending on Social Security to save you when you retire, you're gambling. You're gambling with your future. That's just a tax to me now. That's something that's never coming back. All of my strategy when it comes to long-term retirement, and this is why it's so important for y'all to join the Bag Chasers and to get involved and to get familiar with this money game. All of my stuff is going to be physical assets, literally real estate. Because the one thing that I know for and stocks is because the one thing that I know for sure is ownership in companies that continue to evolve and grow based off of whatever the value of money is. Physical assets, stocks and real estate, and even crypto is going to be the thing that determines who's going to survive and who's not going to survive. If you think that you're going to work your way to death, then you got another thing coming. Real talk. If you're not owning physical assets, guess what I know is always going to happen? People are always going to need a place to stay. People are always going to need a place to stay. Whatever you pay with, that's what we're going to take. So my investment is long term. I'm looking at this 10 to 15, 20 years from now. Physical assets is going to be the determining factor for whether or not people survive or not. Job, industry, none of that stuff is going to matter, bro. None of it is going to matter. I'm telling you. What's cheap now is going to be expensive in the future. What's cheap now? Places, bro, listen. There are pieces of land and property in Detroit that used to go for $10,000 that is now worth millions. $10,000 just 15 years ago, 16, 17 years ago is worth millions. I see this is going to be a money conversation that we having today. I see this is going to be a money conversation that we having today, huh? Millions, literally millions. It's insane. It's insane. So there will be a reset, but I don't think it's going to be based off of what happens in 2008 because everything is cyclical. Everything is cyclical. There's always going to be ups and downs. And the people that's able to capitalize off the downs is going to be really up. That's one thing that 2008 taught me, is that when things go down, you buy more of it. And that's how you get filthy rich. Getting rich is creating a product and filling the market void and creating, serving a need. Getting filthy rich is capitalizing when everybody else go broke. We already seen a lot of celebrities go broke. Most celebrities are broke already. What a blessing you are, says Mo Talks Live. What up, Mo Talks? 617 says, good morning, my king, and all here at work. Another 16-hour day. Happy weekend. Martin Muhammad says, AD, as it relates to black relationships, I hear so much masculine and feminine energies, but I think we have self-hatred problems. What say you? No, we don't. You know how I know we don't have no self-hatred problems? Because we still love women, and women still love men no matter what you say. They could say whatever they want to say. They could talk about this decentering men nonsense. But let me tell you something, bro. Ain't nothing like a soft body. Real talk. Even if you go on a little bit of a sabbatical and say, you know what, I'm not dealing with these hoes because I need to focus on getting my life together. When you come back, ain't nothing like a soft leg. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it's Eric TV says, good morning, AD. I wish you a blessed day. I wish you a blessed day also. I say it started with the crash in 1929, says Jason Jocelyn. Last question as a follow-up. Y'all can ask as many questions as y'all want. I don't have no time limit. Last question as a follow-up. Do you think the banks are getting sloppy with lending? There's no way so many people qualify for all personal debt they are taking out, but I could be wrong. Thanks. Nah, I don't think so. I think that, banks make their money off the interest payments. And so to find enough qualified people to be able to take out the money is where the problem lies. The interest rates is where the problem lies also. I think the banks is going to be fine. The banks are always going to be fine. You don't want to do a lot of subprime lending, and you want to pay attention to the type of industries that you lend into also. So, lots and lots going on. Y'all want to get into this Odell Beckham conversation? All right, so let me play it for y'all. And we're going to get to it. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This is what Odell Beckham said, and then we're going to get into the Shannon Sharp part of it. We got Netflix coming up. Trump did a live stream where he said it's going to be 100 trillion or something like that coming. I didn't see it, so I'm going to re-review it and watch it, and we're going to go from there. Did they talk about the 26-year-old with 92,000 pounds of explosive drugs? Yeah, I seen that too. We might be able to go over that if we got the time. All right. I'm going to read y'all super chat shortly. Thank y'all for always supporting the platform. Let's get into it. This is what Odell Beckham Jr. was saying.
On myself, I'm like, my mind is just too strong. One, I'm also in a position where I'm kind of backed by a lot more than like what everybody else might possibly have. Like I know, like I'm gonna be straight after football, period. If I didn't have $1 in my account right here today as we speak, I'm gonna be straight for the rest of my life. No question, right? I don't think everybody is in that. And when you've sacrificed your whole life to get here, and you're like, yeah, I played 10 years in the league. And I always explain this to people, I'm like, bro, you give somebody a 5-year, $100 million contract, right? What is it really? It's 5 years for 60. You're getting taxed. Do the math. That's 12 a year, that you have to spend, use,
Save,
invest, flaunt, like whatever, however, just being real. I'm gonna buy a car, I'm gonna give my mama a house, I'm gonna do, everything costs money. So if you're spending $4 million a year, that's really 40 million over 5 years, 8 a year, And now you start breaking down the numbers, it's like, that's a 5-year span of where you're getting 8 million. Can you make that last forever? And you always hear the people who ain't us and ain't been in the position like, oh, well, that would last a lifetime. Yeah, this job that I sacrificed my whole life for, they are giving me that. I didn't ask for the certain dollar amount or whatever, but we weren't taught about no financial literacy and all the way. We weren't
talk about it all the time.
We weren't taught this skill, and it's kind of like, I'll keep this one under wraps, but I got some things in the work that like, I'm gonna be able to, the generations that are coming up behind us, when you talk about the storm that me and like moms went through, like I'll be able to be that for somebody else and to be able to help their family on how things are gonna go and yada, yada, yada. And like, if I didn't make, I'll take $1. But if I didn't make $1 from any of these kids, but I could give them the knowledge and the wisdom that I didn't know, I'm doing my part. Like when I lay in that casket, like I know like I did my role. I know I did the things that I needed to do and provided for the generations coming behind us. So then that way they had a foundation. Now they can lay it for the ones that's coming, after them. That's truly how I feel about it.
I just want to ask, you done had some bad ones in your
Oh
life.
man,
All right, I don't really see what the problem is with what he said. Why are people putting the headlines up and making it seem like it's something that it's not?
At last forever. And you always hear the people here, something right there straight after football, period. Everybody else, where I'm kind of backed by a lot more than like what everybody else might possibly have. Like I know, like I'm gonna be straight after football, period.
So, all right, so y'all missed that part. A lot of people missed that part. He said, I'm backed by a lot of other things that to where I'm going to be straight after football no matter what. So that leads me to believe that either A, he has some other business dealings and relationships and partnerships that's going to allow for him to be able to sustain his lifestyle and sustain himself, and or he might have some deals on the back end or some sponsorships that he'll still be able to work and he'll still be able to do whatever it is that he do long after football. All right. So he prefaced it by saying that. And that, even that statement alone, in my opinion, is largely saying and telling me that a lot of that money that we spent on football is gone. A lot of that money that we spent on football is gone. That's what that's saying, which is not a big deal. Again, a lot of y'all are talking about 20, 21, 22, 23-year-olds getting crazy money, right? You talking about they re-up and they mid 20s, and football players have a much, much shorter lifespan. And then he broke it down. He said, listen, then after agents' fees, taxes, all of that stuff, let's say that you take home 60. Now, 60 M's is nothing to sneeze at. But he's saying that now you have to take into account, because just like everybody else, you have lifestyle creep and you adjust your lifestyle to whatever amount of money that you're making. You adjust your lifestyle to whatever amount of money that you are making, right? So now you're talking about, having a $2, $3, $4, $5 million a year lifestyle. And again, you have to really, really take into account that these are 20-year-olds. Max, the average NFL player has a less than a 5-year window, and they don't get paid a lot of money. But let's say, for example, you're an ODJ, you're an Odell Beckham Jr. type of person, and you got a bag and you got paid, you had a lot of visibility, and you wanted to hang out with the Kim Kardashians and all of that stuff, right? And somebody, for example, says you could really make 60 million stretch. Somebody else says a $2 million mansion could be just as nice as a $40 million mansion. Just shop carefully. Okay, well, let's talk about that. Because a lot of people have an assumption, like Odell Beckham Jr. said, but they don't really, really understand what comes with that. Do you know how much it costs to maintain a $2 million mansion? Because when you buy a $2 million mansion, it's not like you just spend $2 million and that's the end of the conversation. The property taxes alone could probably be anywhere from $30,000 to $80,000 a year property taxes, maintenance, grass, utility bills, repairs. See, when you have these high-end houses, it costs you a lot for anything that goes wrong inside of that house. So now you spending $100,000 a year to maintain your house. When you got to get the driveway done, that's $20,000 because of how your driveway is set up. And you can't just get asphalt, you got to get concrete. Furniture, oh, you're going to spend $100,000 in furniture because a couch is going to cost you alone $5,000 because you can't have a $2 million house in the IKEA furniture set. And you got 5, 6, 7, 8 bedrooms. Because the true cost of something is the maintenance. It's not the buying of the property itself. It's the maintenance. The true cost of something is the maintenance. Somebody said if you think $30 to $40,000 in property taxes on $2 million, I'm crazy. Okay, cool. Well, let's look at it. The estimated annual property tax for a $2 million home in Birmingham, Michigan, which often at times they be a lot more than that, is approximately $28,000 to $30,000 for a primary residence, and potentially higher for a non-homestead property. Now, here's the other part of it. Here's the caveat. Let's say you rent it out. Because everybody know, but I do this in real life. I own homes in real life, and I know the property taxes, and I know the highest cities, the great cities that's all around it. So yes, you are going to be paying $30,000 a year on a $2 million home in property taxes alone. That's just taxes. That's just property taxes. That ain't the pool. That ain't none of that stuff. I'm telling you what's real. A lot of people think that they know, but a lot of people ain't never been in a $2 million house. And if you rent it out, that is true. Depending on what municipality that you're in, your property taxes can sometimes go up 50% more. If you're looking at it as your primary residence, it's one price. If you're designating it as a rental property and it's not your primary residence, your property taxes is going to go up even more. If you replace the roof, it's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. So lifestyle matters. Lifestyle absolutely matters. Your kids is going to be going to private school. All of the celebrities in my area, which I talk to them, all of the celebrities in my area, their children goes to private school, and they all go to the same school. Country Day, most of the time, is one of the most popular schools, right? Average, and this is young kids all the way up to high school, average tuition for Country Day. Average tuition when you're putting your kid in private school in Country Day. Very significantly by grade, but ranging around $21,000 for preschool and $40,000 a year for older grades. Here's the caveat to that, though, is that they're also expecting for you to donate and meet certain expectations. So now you're paying $20,000 to $40,000 a year per kid to go to private school, because your kid most of the time cannot go to regular school. A lot of y'all then get into a situationship. Then you got child support. Then you get a divorce, and so you got spousal support, and she gonna take half that shit. And so let's say you had 60, and then you spent 10 of it to get your family out of poverty and to buy houses and pay off debt, and then she gonna take 20 of it. And you still got child support. And you still got to put your kids through school. And you still got to pay property taxes. I'm just telling you that, can it? Yes. For most people, it won't. Why? Because everybody is human, and every single person that says that they would do something differently when they get money, they do it the same way that everybody else does it. When you listen, getting money and keeping money is expensive. Getting money and keeping money is expensive. Everybody want to sit there and say, oh yeah, you know what? I would just live a regular lifestyle. Shut the fuck up. You living above your means right now. You ain't even living a regular lifestyle according to what your lifestyle is. You got a 40K budget and you live in an 80K lifestyle. Get the fuck out of here. Keep on trying to sell me on the idea that y'all going to be more fiscally responsible. That's why the word of God says, be faithful in little before I make you ruler over much. Because you have to prove yourself to be faithful and to be able to manage what you already got. And 80% of the country is fucked up. They're in debt up to their eyeballs. They didn't adjust for their lifestyle. They bought more than what they could afford. So you ain't going to do nothing but get more bills and make a bigger, badder decision when you start to get revenue, when you start to get money. Nigga, you going straight to the dealership. Straight to the dealership. Look at a lot of y'all said, "Oh, I'm gonna buy me a $2 million house." You didn't even take into account the property taxes that you're gonna be paying. You didn't even take into account. You just said, "Hey, let's buy $2 million." You don't even know what the maintenance is on that shit. You have no clue what it's gonna cost to replace. Bro, I just redid a house. I'm redoing a house right now. I'm redoing a house right now. This is what it used to look like. That's what it used to look like. This is what it looks like now. A lot of y'all on the Patreon, you've been taking this journey for me. You see it. So you see the difference? Let me show you again. This is what it used to look like. This is what it looks like now. Right? Beautiful. 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms. Do you know what the cost it is to completely renovate that house? $170,000. You know what most people would do? They would have to pull money because nobody has $170K just laying there. Nobody has $170K. So you know what you have to do? Most people have to pull the value out of their home. They have to pull the value out of the home in order to be able to make it livable again. So now you got to spend $30,000 for windows, $25,000 for siding, $4,000 to $6,000 for the brick, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a garage. You got to rewire the entire house, right? You got to gut the bathrooms. You got to redo the floors. You got to put in a whole new kitchen. I could cheap out and do it for less than 100. Absolutely, I can cheap out. I can cheap out, but I don't want to cheap out because I want to make sure that it actually has quality and quality finishes. So people, most of the time, they pull the money out of the house, and then guess what? They got a house note again. Then they got a house note again. Most people, I'll tell you, is actually buying more house than they should. Because guess what? They're not in a rush to hurry up and pay that off. Now, you know what? I got some time to pay it off. I just pulled some money out. We should be good for a little bit. Telling you the truth. But see, they're not going to tell you that because everybody is financing everything. So I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying. He's basically saying, he's not saying that it's $100 million you can't live on. And that's what I don't like about the internet is that they take it completely out of context. He's not saying you can't live on $100,000 or $100 million. He's saying that it can go fast if you don't know and you don't understand the financial literacy that comes along with it. If you don't understand the true cost of doing business, some of y'all ain't even picking the right chick based off of the fact that you can't afford what you think that you're signing up for. And I'm not saying that she expensive individually, but being in a relationship is expensive. Y'all keep wanting chicks, but not understanding the costs that come along with it. That's my opinion. Well, let me pull him down so we can have a real conversation. Give me a second. Let me cook this up real quick. Let me cook up. Give me a second. Hold on. I want the people that come in here to understand what we talking about if they just come in right away. I don't want them to be confused about what's happening in this conversation that we having right now. You know why the 50-50 conversation is so prevalent? You know why a lot of these women are saying that they basically want to be saved? The reason why this conversation is so prevalent is because everybody is broke. The hoes is broke. The dudes is broke from trying to chase the broke hoes, and everybody is trying to figure it out because you don't really truly understand the true cost of dealing with that chick. You know one of the reasons why I refused to ever put myself in a position to cheat or to get caught up like a Shannon Sharp or to do any of that type of stuff is because I understood that infidelity could be expensive. Everything costs. And I'm not always talking about it's going to cost you to date her. I'm telling you that it's going to cost you to deal with her. The repercussions of dealing with a hoe that you don't really even know that much is going to cost you. It's going to cost you. It's going to deal with it. Most people don't even understand the true cost of their life. That's why you fucked up now and you think that you would do things differently. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You trying to get into a relationship and have a child right now so you can be on government assistance and food stamps. You can't afford her because she gonna ruin your life. You can't deal with the costs that go along with dealing with a chick that ain't for you. I'm telling you right now. Most people don't understand that there's a cost associated with everything. Now you can look at one perspective is to look at it as an investment, right? So for example, let's say there's a cost to getting a job. And the greater the job, the higher the cost. So let's look at it on the high end. If I want to be a physician or an anesthesiologist or a spine surgeon, the cost is I have to forego earning money because I truly have to focus on school, internships, residencies, all of that. And it's going to cost me a lot of money in order to do this thing. So I have to finish. So it's going to cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's going to cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost wages. But if I make the right investment and I really dedicate myself, I can really, really catch all of that back on the back end, and I'll make an adjustment. So the cost of becoming a surgeon is high, but the potential to make a lot of money from it is also higher, right? Now you can go and get the low-hanging fruit, which is what most people do. They just want to get out of high school. They want to get a GED. They want to be able to get a job, and you want to protest at Starbucks and say, pay us a livable wage, pay us a livable wage. Well, the cost of getting that job is low, and so the possibility of making a lot of money is not that great. You understand what I'm saying? That's applicable to life. If you want to get into an industry that is paying a lot of money, there's a risk associated with it. You have to educate yourself. But most people, what they're doing is they're saying, that's why they say that, oh man, going to college is a scam. No, you made the wrong investment. You spent the wrong amount of money on the wrong thing, and a lot of y'all took out student loans, and you went and lived it up, and now you don't want to pay it back. And that's the difference, right? It costs to start a business. Oh, it truly costs to start a business. You know why most podcasts go broke? Because they don't understand the business climate. They don't understand where the money is. And so it costs. You got to pay the production crew. You got to pay to record. You got to pay the editor. You got to do all of this stuff. And that's why most of them say, you know what? We've done this. We're hanging up the towel. You know why? Because it's not profitable. And the cost versus the reward, they can't see it. And so that's why it then costs them more. And once they start losing money and they don't see the value in it, they want to go and get a regular job. Your home is going to cost the maintenance and insurance, the appearance, the upkeep. When you buy a high-end car, you know why I'll never probably buy a Bugatti? Because it costs you $50,000 to do the maintenance. Buying a luxury car, even if you pay for it cash, the maintenance is where you really spend the money. It's maintaining it. It's having to get premium gas. It's keeping the mileage low. It's taking it to the service appointments. When you have to get a tire, your tire gonna cost $400-500 just for a tire for a luxury vehicle. And if it's a specialty vehicle, then you really can't afford it. So a lot of times people don't go broke off the purchase. They go broke off the maintenance. Insuring it is crazy. I have dozens of cars. I pay Like $5,000 a month in insurance alone for the cars. It's not about the cars, the insurance. And that ain't even including the maintenance. I pay over $5,000, probably like $5,800 a month just for car insurance for all of the different cars that I have. That's the honest to God truth. Reoccurring, 16th of every month. Real talk. I got another payment coming out on December 16th. Auto pay. State Farm auto pay. Every 16th, I pay $5,300 a month in auto insurance alone. Alone. That's the honest to God truth. Look at all of the autos. I'll show them to you. Look at the autos. Mercedes, TRX, Porsche 911, Dodge Challenger, Tesla. I ain't gonna scroll up. I'm not gonna scroll up. Oh. I'm telling you, listen, everybody talking this money shit, everybody talking about it. I'll show you. I'll show you the receipts. I'll show you the receipts. I ain't showing you what else I got. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. But what I'm basically telling you is that everything costs. Everything costs. You want to deal with these little funky hoes out here? You want to be flying them back and forth? You want to live this life? You want to go to the Pistons games? You want to sit courtside? I pay $105,000 a year for my Pistons tickets. And I don't even go to half the games. I don't even go to more than half the games. I'll probably go every 3 games I'll go. But I pay $100,000+ a year for my Pistons tickets. That's a fact. I think I showed y'all that. If you want me to show you that receipt too, I'll show you. That's just for cars and fun. Cars and fun. Cribs, multiple houses, first class flights, Delta One, all of this stuff. That's money. That's money. So my point is, yeah, I do. I pay $100,000 for my Pistons tickets. Tickets. My Pistons account. Invoices. I ain't got no invoices. I gotta sign in. And I show y'all the receipts because I really want y'all to see what it's really about. Like, I really want you to see it in real life. I don't even know if I know my password. Invoice. There it is. Yep, there it is. Right there. 102. $102,380. And that's what it costs. That's what it costs. That's what my season tickets is. 2 tickets. That's what it costs. So what I'm saying is if you want to live the life, if you want the lifestyle, I said that I was gonna start showing receipts, and I'm gonna really start showing y'all how to ball. I'm gonna really start showing y'all what this life is like. I'm gonna take y'all behind the scenes. I'm gonna show you in the vlog. I'm gonna take you behind the scenes. I'm gonna show you the wires. I'm gonna show you all of that shit. I'm gonna show you all of it now. And then this, I've always shown all of my receipts. I've always shown all of this stuff. So I don't worship these celebrities, and I don't look at them as any different, because I really do. We really do live this life, and so we really are about it. We really are in this life. And for people to say it, what they would do, bullshit. Bullshit. I don't believe them. I know who really got it, and I know who really don't. I know who trying to figure out how to maintain it and who really don't. I don't necessarily disagree with it. It just depends on your lifestyle. For somebody to tell me that they make millions and that they still gonna just be sitting there with millions and not spending no money, I call 100% bullshit. Now the question that you got to ask yourself is, are you making the strategic investments while you also live in a lifestyle? Are you making the strategic investments while you're also living the lifestyle? You got to have a portfolio too. I build houses. I spend money. I spend cash on building the houses from scratch. You know what I'm saying? So it's really the constant rotation of money. You got to spend it, or everybody gonna take it, and you got to invest it. And that's why we judge people based off of their net worth. People that have money, we don't judge them based off of what their contract is. People that have money, we judge them off of their net worth, because it's their ability to get a hold of the money. It's their ability to get a hold of the money. Why would the show be called The Millionaire Morning Show if I wasn't able to show you any receipts of how we live the life? You know what I'm saying? Why would I call it The Millionaire Morning Show if I didn't show you how to live the life? I'm gonna take y'all behind the scenes. Watch 2026. I'm gonna show you what it really do. I'm gonna show you what it really do. But it could go fast if you don't understand it. But at least they got it. At least they got it. I think that most athletes are broke. I think that most rappers are broke. I think most entertainers are broke. I think most actors are broke. I think that most of these people are really broke in real life. That's what I believe. I believe most of these people are really broke in real life. I'm telling you the truth. Real talk. So me personally, I try to invest 90 to 95% of everything that I make. The other 5 to 10%, depending on what the month is, spend that shit. Have fun. Spend it. I give some back to the streets. I go out there and I give to the streets every other week. And I rock out from there. What would be your definition of broke from a celebrity? My definition of broke from a celebrity, it depends on what celebrity you're talking about. Because everybody's broke is not the same. So when you say broke, that don't mean that they out on the street begging. That means that what they're projecting themselves to be is completely different than what the reality is. Everybody's broke is not the same. All right. Because the expectations is different for a person that had made $100 million a year. So when you say broke, that don't mean begging on the street. That ain't none of that. All right. Broke for a lot of these guys is having to go back to a regular lifestyle and get a job. I don't care about getting a job. I'll get a job tomorrow. I come from nothing. Most people don't believe I have anything anyway, so it's not like that it'll be any different expectation. It don't mean that it would be any different expectation. Oh man, what's going on? What up, bro? About to clock in for this shift. If you see me doing DoorDash, nigga, know I'm trying to get that extra money up. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get these M's up. Trying to get this money back. Don't trip off of me. Just let me do my little door dashing. Let me do my little dash and dine. You know what I'm saying? Let me do my little dash and dine. A lot of these guys is getting robbed too. So yeah, throw me a tip, dog. Oh man, if you get some money, I mean, you're going to be working for real, for real. All of us is going to be working for the rest of our life. Let me see what Shannon Sharp had to say, because apparently it was a beef back and forth.
And put it the way. Community on YouTube, Joe Cry. Odell Beckham tweeted, presumably, I guess it said us, boy, you can't say nothing in the world nowadays. That's why I've been in my own lane, my own world, and put it the way. People love to take ish out of context to rationalize a statement in their own head that makes sense to them. What a world. Video came out today of Odell selling game-worn chrome heart cleats for $50K.
Yeah, hey, Unc, remember when you were telling me the story, Unc? And
yeah.
I said I thought he was giving perspective and context on how difficult it is to be able to manage money. I didn't really think he was talking about himself.
No, but Ocho, if you got Ocho, what's difficult about managing 60 million liquid?
Hold on. Well, what's difficult?
It's a lot difficult.
The percentage of athletes, NBA, NFL, MLB, is damn near 90% now. So yes. I mean, it's difficult. That's why I thought because the first thing when he said it and gave context and perspective on how difficult it is, I thought he was meaning in general, not specifically talking about himself. That's all. But no, go ahead.
But I get what he's saying.
Yes, sir.
But you're spending $4 million in yearly expenses.
Yes, sir.
Your home, family home, X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
Well, first of all, to spend that, you need to make at least 10 million.
Right.
Because you, depending on where you are. Now, if you're in a state that takes 50%, now if you're in Las Vegas, you're in Nevada, you're in Texas, you're in Florida. I think Ohio has no state income tax. I think Arizona is like 2%. So if you're in one of those states, so it's going to take about 10 million to do that, to have that kind of lifestyle.
Right.
Now what happens is, Ocho, is that you still try to maintain that lifestyle, Joe, when you're not bringing in 10 million and you're still spending out that money going out. Right. That's why they go out. That's why you see guys go.
That's a fact. He's telling the absolute truth with that. That is 100% fact. It's hard to go back. It's hard to go backwards. Very, very difficult to lead a limelight because they want to still be in the show. And if you're not generating that type of revenue no more, you got to make some adjustments. And it's very hard to go back. He's right.
Belly up, Ocho, is that you don't change your spending habits.
Right.
It's the same way if you're an athlete, you eat whatever you want, you work out. Now all of a sudden you're not an athlete and you still eat whatever you want. Now all of a sudden DBs look like D linemen. That's what happens with money.
Hey, think about what you just said. Hey, Joe, think about what you just said, right? Think about what
somebody said is the guy on the right reacted. No, that's Joe Johnson. Y'all know Joe Johnson from the NBA? Joe Johnson was a beast.
Real quick, right? Is you live in a lifestyle when the money's coming in fast.
Right.
You become accustomed to that lifestyle. That lifestyle actually becomes your image and it becomes an identity.
Yeah.
So once you stop playing, the transition to be able to stop and have the discipline to be able to cut it off,
It's a lot
to be
harder.
able to become a minimalist, almost in a sense, it's almost impossible.
It's hard
because you always want to maintain that lifestyle and that image. Because what's the first thing everybody that you're trying to goddamn impress gonna say? Oh, he ain't got it no more. Oh, he broke.
And the first time,
And you know what's so funny about that? That is 100% fact. I think that more people that get money is afraid of people saying that they went broke, which is one of the reasons why they have to maintain a lifestyle. Facts. You know what the worst thing in some people's minds is that had money and was a public figure? Is for somebody to say, oh, they fell off. They ain't got it no more. Why? Because people care about what other people think. Regardless of how much you think they out of there, they read comments, they pay attention, they watch the videos, they see what people are saying about them. 100%. 100%. People care, and the last thing that they want you to say, look at Antonio Brown right now. Antonio Brown is so busy trying to prove to everybody that he still got money. Antonio Brown is trying to prove to people that he still has money. And he's going broke, trying to help people to understand that he still got money. Happens every day, B. Every day. We're going to talk about that Netflix in a minute. I'm going to get there. Every day it happens. People are trying to impress other people and trying to show them and prove to them that they still got a bag and that they still got money. Yep. 100%. It happens in regular life. So what makes you think it's just not going to happen on a higher level? It happens in regular life. Regular everyday life, it happens. On the regular streets from the people in your neighborhood, they trying to prove to somebody that, why you think niggas got these high interest rates on these cars? It happens in high school. It starts in high school. Start in high school. Then it go into college. Then it goes into regular everyday life. And then people want to make sure that they maintain and get. And with social media, oh man, that shit exaggerated even more now. With social media, now you got to show your friends and family on Facebook. Now you got to show the friends and family on Facebook that I'm stunting. Because see, once you put it up there, you can't show people that you got to repossess. New car alert. New car alert. Now the goal is to try to maintain a lifestyle. Because A, you used to it. B, you don't want people to think you fell off. And C, public shame. Public shame will 100% have you crashing out, bro.
You ain't got a new car, man. Hey, he must be doing bad.
Yeah, he's doing bad.
Right.
Man, you should see him with a new whip every other year.
Hey, Joe and Unc, one thing about it, boy, I learned early. I did not want to try to keep up with the Joneses. I did not want to keep. Hey, Joe, I did it when I was making the bulk of my money, Joe. I came in the NFL already cheap as hell. I didn't care about people making fun of me. I didn't care about certain types of women not wanting to date me because they know, he ain't paying nothing. He not,
Some of y'all saying people don't know. Listen, it's different when you're a public figure. Way different when you're a public figure. That's why a lot of these celebrities, they don't necessarily not want y'all to know where they live because for safety reasons, that could be a part of it too. A lot of what they don't want y'all to know where they live is because they don't want y'all to know that they trying to figure out and maintain a regular lifestyle. That's the truth. They don't want you to see them driving a Toyota and all of this stuff. Listen, man, I'm telling you, bro, they're not doing it for them. Half of them is doing it for you. They're doing it for you. Celebrities are the biggest stunting for the grand people. Celebrities are the biggest stunt for the grand people ever. They tried to shame us as YouTubers. I said, yeah, man, I'm about to go and I got this great job lined up. And they recruited me and they said it was an offer I can't refuse. And people was like, ha! See, that's how I know niggas is capping the chat. Because when I said, yo, I got this great job opportunity, people was like, huh, job? Well, can you pass the Grey Poupon? Job? You work a job? Oh, women was, you know what the women was saying? I could never talk to, remember that, guys? Back when before the government started laying off? Oof, I can never talk to a guy that work a regular job because he can't go where he want to go when he want to go. What if I want to go on vacation? That's what women were saying. I can't talk to no guy that work a regular job. I can't talk to a guy that work a regular job. You a worker. That's when that whole Ebony K. Williams thing blew up. You a bus driver? I can't. Can you pass the Grey Poupon? A bus driver? What are you talking about? You just got a CDL? And if he owns the bus company, people were laughing at now we had a premium. Shit, you got a job, you got healthcare coverage. See, that's why we gotta humble niggas. That's why you gotta go back to the core, because now you gotta start helping the people to understand. I'm sorry, what? Now Democrats tried to protest over healthcare coverage. Now your premiums is up. Now you looking for a nigga to get you some healthcare coverage. Funny how things change, huh? Now you need healthcare coverage because you're going through perimenopause. Perimenopause kicking your ass. And they keep telling you that you're going to have to pay for your own doctor's visits. And now you're feeling some type of way. That's okay. We're going to get you there. Funny how that'll humble a nigga, won't it?
Getting that, that's okay. Because I understand dealing with you is nothing but a liability anyway.
Right.
You know,
right.
I got the table and the legs you got ain't gonna hold it up.
Hello.
You know, so you understand it. You play the game, Joe. It's all a game. And the better you learn to play the game, the longer you will be able to be without. It's so.
Somebody said Odell Beckham Jr. got his last 2 contracts in Bitcoin. He good. Y'all don't know these people. You don't know their lifestyle. You don't know if they had an emergency. You don't know if he had to cash some shit out. Y'all don't know these people. Y'all don't know what their life is. You don't know if he up or if he down. No, man, he got his last contract in Bitcoin. He good now. You don't know nothing about what these people's life is. Y'all don't have no clue. Well, the internet said, Celebrity Network said, that shit ain't accurate for nobody. 0 people. It ain't accurate for nobody. Nobody. Y'all don't know what these people's lives is like. They figuring it out every day. Every day they trying to figure it out.
Okay, but so many of us, so many of us are so caught up in looking like we fucking got it. Like everybody want to be rich. Everybody want to look like they like shit. No, that's not reality. Social media has us fooled. Mm-hmm. It has all of us fooled.
They ain't got me fooled. they ain't got me fooled because I know damn well I do okay, and I ain't living like that. No, I ain't got it like that.
Right, hey, you know what's scary, Joe? Joe, this is the scary part, and this is for
Unc is tripping. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that Unc is tripping because just a little while ago, Unc was stunting. Shannon Sharp is switching it up now because back in the Cat Williams days, he was talking about how many M's he was spending. He was showing his watches saying, you see this? Cat bought this, and he was doing all of this shit. Now, Because I ain't spending like that. I'm doing okay, and I ain't even living like that. Bullshit. Listen, he was city to city, state to state with a personal driver, trying not to get caught in the airport, living that life, balling out of control. Now all of a sudden a nigga is not living like that. Get the fuck out of here, man. Come on, bro. Nah. Oh shit. Oh, come on, man. Unc had all of the luxury designer bags. I think he was pushing Laportier, and I'm not saying that he broke. I don't think he broke at all. I don't think he broke a little bit. I think he's doing really, really well. I think he's balling. But he had that ESPN money coming in, Laportier. You know what I'm saying? They had that T-Mobile money coming in. They was running it up. They was running up a bag. Now it's, because see, I don't know what that is. I don't know. Yeah, remember that conversation? Hold on.
You know how much it costs to fly private, man?
Yeah. Do you know how hard I work?
I know how hard you work. I know how hard you work, but come on over here. Let me fly with me somewhere. Let me fly with me on Spirit real quick. C18E.
Let me ask you a question, Ocho. I'm sure unfortunately there's been some people that pass in your family. You've gone to, homegoing services.
My mama, grandma, yeah.
Was there a Brinks truck in any part of that procession?
No.
Was there a U-Haul in any of that procession? So say ain't nobody took nothing with them.
Mm-hmm.
Now you leave everything. What you think your kid's gonna do?
So let's rewind. All right, let's all revisit, and let's go back in time because this was 2 years ago, and Shannon was the hottest fucking thing on the internet. He's the hottest thing on the internet. All right, let's come back forward to the today's time.
Like everybody want to be rich. Everybody want to look like they like shit. No, that's not reality. Social media has us fooled. Mm-hmm. It has all of us fooled.
They ain't got me fooled. they ain't got me fooled because I know damn well I do okay, and I ain't living like that.
No.
Okay. All right.
Think your kid's gonna be as frugal and as thrifty and as miserly as you?
Yeah.
You made all that money now.
I would hope so because
hope. See that you hoping again. You see what you did?
Listen,
you said you hope.
You seeing? Listen, let me tell you something.
That's a female's name. I don't know nothing about a Hope. I went to school with a girl named Hope Perkins.
Listen, Shannon, what percentage of us go broke 2 years after we finish playing? What percentage?
That's if you probably like 87% if I'm not mistaken.
87% of us go broke after we done playing.
Yeah. But see, that's when you got 3 houses, 4 cars, and you got 4 people on college funds that's not your kid. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. But even still, I got 411 kids. I'm still doing well. Very well.
Yeah, for sure.
Very, very, very well.
Yes.
12, 11 years removed from the game of football.
You know what? I eat a certain way, but I treat myself occasionally. I'll eat some cookies. I have some chicken.
Right here is making the case for living a life. Hey, you can't take this shit with you. How many people you seen bring a Brinks truck up to the funeral procession? Hey, live it, fly it. Skip. Hey, that's for people that got all of this other stuff that's going on. Look, I paid the cost to be the boss. My time is worth money. My time is worth money. Now all of a sudden it's, you know what? I ain't got it. Like, I ain't living like that because I'm doing okay. I'm straight, but I'm chilling. But this was 2 years ago. Let's revisit it because I don't want to get things out of context. and I want to really, really get there. I want to talk about it.
Have a burger.
Okay.
So if I want to work as hard as I've been working, say, you know what? I'm gonna go. I wasn't gonna be able to make the game on time.
Right.
I promised time when I came out here and interviewed him in December. I said, I'll be here for your first game.
Yes, sir.
See, I don't make promises because promises are like pie crust, thin and easily broken. I make commitments. I committed to that man that I was gonna come see his first home game.
Right.
I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm coming.
I don't mean to be in your personal business. I just in case for me, if I want to say I want to dibble in my stash and I want to take the kids somewhere in a private jet, we go on vacation or something.
Yes.
Like, what's that gonna run me? By how much? What's that gonna run me?
It all depends on how big the jet is and how far you're going.
Okay, let's say I need a big one because I got older kids.
So you want a G5, G6. So you're talking about probably 10, 15, 20,000 an hour.
Whoa. Rewind. 15 to 20,000 an hour?
An hour, yeah.
Oh nah, man. Shit. Oh, my bad. My bad. Nah, man. 15, 20,000 an hour. So if I got to fly to LA, and LA that's a 4-hour flight. I gotta pay 40. I gotta pay 50 grand.
More than that, more than that, probably.
Man, come on, man. Stop playing, man. Listen. I fly.
They had the smoke detector alarm in the background.
I have to work and fly and travel every Monday. I got to go to Jersey, right? I got to go to Jersey.
Yeah.
Quick, right down the street, 2-hour flight.
Yeah.
I get Spirit Airlines ticket, $80 round trip. I get from point A to point B just as fast, just as quick as you.
Look at Shannon.
You in Colorado? You in Colorado right now?
But you know what I did? Huh?
It is comfy. You get the extra roll. You get the extra roll.
You ain't had no bed. You saw your boy laying down eating breakfast in bed at 30,000.
Hey, but listen. Let me tell you what I can do.
Unc was just talking that talk, but you ain't had no bed. At 30,000 feet, breakfast in bed, feet kicked up. Got my snow bunny over there. I'm chilling. What are you talking about? $80 a seat? Yeah, miss me with that one, big dog. He talking about laying in bed.
I can stop the drive-through and get breakfast before I get on that flight.
No.
And sleep at 30,000.
Ocho.
I'm gonna be asleep.
Look, I'm not wasteful. I'm not wasteful with my money, Ocho.
Okay.
I got 2 repaired hips. I got 2 artificial hips.
Wait,
I got
you got
an artificial eye socket. Yeah, I got my hip.
I messed up.
Yeah.
I'm just asking when okay. All right. I'm not saying it had anything to do with your hip replacements.
What you trying to say? What you trying to get? You didn't play long with me.
Well, Pinky, look at my team. I did though.
Special team.
Who?
Thunder.
So was
I was on the punt return.
Dude, like I do it all.
Did you see what that punter did in Buffalo? You say you was a kick out. I'll
do that. This is I went to Oregon State. I for you before Brown. I really don't like Prime. You ain't even know that.
Ocho, you won't hit nobody. Ocho, you everybody when they talk about they go to the highest. Man, I was like Prime, or I was like LeBron.
About me, March. I'm from Liberty City.
Yeah, you had 22 fantasy.
I'll tell you,
couldn't hit anybody. You didn't.
I was. No. Oh man, hey, at Liberty City, listen.
So, like I said, it's pretty tripped out to see Shannon was saying it like that. And then he flipped the script when we started talking about Odell Beckham.
Mm-hmm.
It has all of Odell. Well, I do okay, and I ain't living like that. No, I ain't got it like that.
Right, You know what's scary, Joe? Joe, this is the scary part.
Come on, man. And that's what I'm saying, bro. You got to be. It's okay to adjust. It's okay to adjust. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to say, all right, listen, switch up is crazy. Switch up is crazy. It's okay to adjust. But Shannon was susceptible to it too. He didn't do nothing different because when Shannon got money, when he started getting that money, guess what he was doing? 30,000 feet in the air, sleeping on the bed, taking private flights and doing what you want to do. Now all of a sudden it's Because I don't know what they doing. I don't live like that. That ain't what my life is like. What? What do you mean? How? So now you acting like you don't understand. Now you don't get it. Now you don't get it. Now you confused on how people can relate to something like an Odell Beckham Jr. saying, listen, after they take this, and then you adjust for your lifestyle, you get hit with a reality check, and it's like, wait a minute, is this gonna last me for the rest of my life based off of what it is that I've already set myself up like? You know what I'm saying? Not now things is different. But I think that I can understand it. I can understand it from the lens of somebody saying, well, man, if I had this amount of money, then this is I could last me forever. I can understand it from that lens, and I can also understand it from the lens of an Odell Beckham Jr. saying, listen, we think about this because we're going to probably, hopefully, if God willing, we can live another 50 to 60 years. And I want to be careful because most NFL players go broke within 2 years of leaving the league. You know what I'm saying? It's understandable. Everybody go through ups and downs. Everybody go through wins and losses. I get it. It's understandable, but the switch up be crazy, man. The switch up be crazy. If it was me, I would just be like, listen, if it's me keep reacting like that after I said something like that, I'd be like, hey, man, the checks is different now, so we got to adjust for the lifestyle. I wouldn't be on no, I don't understand how they even saying that. Nigga, you understand it because you was doing it too. You just did it in a different space, in a different era. It's okay to say, oh, man, listen, we adjusting down. Companies do it all the time. Sometimes they go through booms. Sometimes they go through layoffs. You gotta adjust, and that's life. Life is just an accumulation of ups and downs. Sometimes you flush, sometimes you bust. Sometimes you winning, other times you got to go through some shit and lose. If you really, really lucky and you're really great, you'll be able to get it all back times some with a learned lesson that go along with it. But to act like we don't get it, we don't understand, we all go through that shit. We all spent it, lost it, maybe got it back, ran it back up, but you got to make the adjustments. And then you also have to understand how you're going to do things differently the second way around. It's life. That's just regular everyday life for people. That ain't nothing new. You up and you down. Oh, man, let's stop pretending like we don't understand what's going on. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats. Here we go. It's that same African booty scratcher that I was talking about. You notice you're talking about yourself in this one too. Supposed to be a millionaire. Can switch up in a minute. Money comes and goes. Now, let me tell you what I am. I'm gonna be rich forever. Now, I was trying to be humble to you niggas. That ain't even your baby. We already had this conversation. I told you to change that profile picture, nigga. That ain't even your baby. I'm gonna be rich forever. I don't fit that category. You know what I'm saying? So let's. I didn't say that was applicable to me. I was talking in general, nigga. Now don't let me put you and your little ugly baby on the Summer Jam screen. You know what I'm saying, Chris Evans? I don't want to do that. You came back after 2 months, and that's the first thing that you had to say. Holding that white baby. Where you at again? It's not even your baby. Senior. You worry about getting a DNA test, nigga. I worry about the money. That's a white baby. Niggas always trying to humble you. Niggas suck my dick. That nigga at the vet, if I spent it all, I had it. I ran it up. And I had a good time doing it. And my daughter was able to go to college without having any kind of problems of debt. And I got 28 cars, nigga. And I do fly crazy. Maybe I don't fly private regularly. I do sometimes, every once in a while. I fly Delta One. That's good enough. You don't even know. Medallion status allows for you to take 4 international trips with an automatic upgrade. 4 regionals. I think I get 10 regionals, 4 internationals with an automatic upgrade to Delta One. And I get the Delta One Lounge worldwide. Boy, you better recognize. Let me read these super chats. I'm sorry. I got a little bit distracted. Can you break down who the economy favorite between Biden's economy and Trump's 2 economies? Yeah, I'll hold on to that. I'll try to come back to it. Yeah, I didn't say suck my stuff this time because I'm trying to be nicer. Call me Mr. Bibbs in the building says, much love from the east side. Have a good weekend. Chad from Moore says, speaking of financials, I just sent an email about 80-plus-year-olds that are forced to work since they didn't plan accordingly. Great stream last night. All right, I'm going to check that out. You just sent it? Trey says, you ever been driving wild and lost traction and had a close call? Then you ride in silence with both hands on the steering wheel? I sure have, and I didn't crash either. 392Q says, would you build a mansion and rent it out or live in it? Now, I would never build a mansion to rent out. If I'm going to build something, then I'm going to build either a multi-unit or, which I want to get into next year, I want to get into commercial properties. I would either build a multi-unit or I would build a single family home. I would never build a mansion to rent out. And I did. I've acquired all the land, and I'm going to be building my big house soon. So hopefully I'll break ground on that starting next year, either next year or the year before, the year after. Mrs. Bailey says, it's not the cost, it's always the maintenance. I've repeated this since purchasing my first car, and it was over 18 years ago. What up, Mrs. Bailey? Nah, we talking. Shensi in the building. Shout out to you. Salute. Onaka Sanders says, Anton, thank you for the high value content day after day. Last night's Patreon was amazing. Shout out to the bag chasers. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Brother 810 says, I'm going to keep it 100. You and probably EYO and Trap carry the culture on y'all back. No gossip or BS talk, just pure applicable knowledge. Thanks, brother. Shout out to you, man. Hey, thank you for rocking out. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Mr. Youngblood City says in an old video, you once said, you said once you have money, everything is basically free. Can you explain that again? I think a lot of people miss what you meant. All right. So a lot of times it depends on the context that you're using it, right? So for example, I'll tell you that if I never wanted to buy clothes again, I wouldn't have to buy clothes. And it's not about having money. It's about being visible, I think, and what the money affords you. So, for example, people send me clothes all day, every day. People send me stuff all the time. People send me stuff just to promote. People send me stuff just to say thank you. You know what I'm saying? When I go into places, a lot of times I get it for free because of the visibility that I have or because people are trying to build a relationship. I do it to other people. I have bought stuff for other people just to say, hey, man, you're doing great. I appreciate you, because they were higher status than me, which affords me to get in certain rooms. You understand what I'm saying? And I can't say some of the people that I've actually done things for. I would never say that. But, you know, you basically, you paying your dues. You paying homage. King DJ Trick says broke mentality. If they have high expenses but lower income, they're broke. James, what up? Jamisha. James Ashley K. Is it James Ashley K? Shout out to James Ashley K. Says, this is a top watch channel for me. Thank you for what you do. What up, though? What's going on? Eric Williams says, I appreciate you. What's good, Anton? I'm at the gig right now, working my part-time and then going to my full-time. Shout out to my Detroit brother, and Anton. Grand Rapids in Detroit. What up, the Grand Rapids? That's the beer city. King DJ Trick says you can put $4 million in the markets and get a six figure a month or every quarter in dividend. Anton, let's manage artists, athletes, and help them with their portfolio. The Jewish people been doing it. I don't think that people want help. And I'm gonna also tell you that I've never ever managed somebody else's money. Meaning that I've never ever, people ask me all the time, like, hey man, can you take this money? Can you put this in a fund? Can I invest with you and stuff like that? Even Bag Chaser said it all the time. I've never done it, ever done it, because I don't want to ever be accused of anything, and I don't ever want to manage nobody else's money. Now, what I will do is I will teach other people how to manage their own money. I'll teach other people how to manage their own money, but I don't want the responsibility that comes with somebody else's money. I'm not making nobody no promises. I'm not doing none of that stuff. I'll put my own money up and I'll teach other people how to do it by showing the receipts of me investing into myself. I don't want nobody else's money. I can't do it. Just Over Broke says is a job, Magnificent Gaming. Courtney Egger Show says, man, they can't miss me with that. We get to the money. I immediately got with Tech Coach Ralph about AI prompt engineering and studying for it while building my platform and working my 9 to 5. Shout out to Courtney Egger Show and Tech Coach Ralph. King DJ Trick says, if a millionaire is complaining, the numbers in the bank are low. Chad was eating McDonald's and saving money for years to play Chad's interview on his life. I've seen it before. Shout out to Chad. It's Eric TV says, retiring that OF girl, God judge me, humbled him. King DJ Trick says, I went to 4 cities in 5 days and spent almost nothing because I used my air points for my business credit card and went to business class. That's true. A lot of the stuff that I buy is based off of points. A lot of the hotel rooms that I get, I just went to Tampa to go visit family, and I think I use miles. I use flight miles, airline miles, and then for the hotel rooms, I use points from my Marriott rewards. So that's another thing that I'm saying is when having money, stuff come free to you. But we know why Unc talking like that now. He lost that bag as well, some of it. Don Drell says, appreciate you, AD. I'm learning. B-Rev or B-Rev. I love when someone throw a shot at AD and he play it cool for about 1 minute, then he get the. I'm switching up my style. I'm not doing that no more. I don't want y'all to predict me. DC or VA meetup soon. Not in the cold. Gotta wait till it warm up, big dog. Listening to you on the Millionaire Morning Show at 1.5 speed from yesterday was hilarious. Preaching mixed with comedy, says Watson the Great. What up, Watson? Jay Ben says Arizona got that good meetup weather right now. Oh, that's true. All right. AD, let's see an Apple Music replay. How do I show my Apple Music replays? Apple Music. Apple. How do you get to it? Replay your music history. Is it right here? Is that it? All right, I'm going to show y'all my Apple Music replay. Y'all ready? All right, this is my Apple Music replay. It says your top artists of 2025. Number 2 is a Detroit rapper. Number 3 is a Detroit rapper. Number 4 is a Detroit rapper. Number 6 is a Flint rapper. Number 7 is a Detroit rapper. Number 8 is BFB the Pac-Man. Number 9, BFB the Pac-Man is Flint. Number 9 is Sada Baby. He Detroit. The Weeknd, Party Next Door. Gunna, Icewear Vezo. Samuel Shabazz, Future, Larry June, Tory Lanez, Wale, DDG, and Pharrell. All right. That's what it says my 2025 is. But that's it. That's my 2025. That's almost all Team Eastside. I told y'all most of what I listen to is Detroit music, bro. I got that Larry June on there, though. I'm surprised that Jet Life is not in here. It's mostly Detroit music in here, though. Mostly Detroit music. Show top albums and songs. All right, let me see. I don't know. But y'all see Jim Jones is in there, though, right? Shout out to Jimmy at number 5. Jim Jones, Vampire Life. Yeah. Yes, I do listen to Jimmy. Yes, I do listen to Jimmy. What did y'all say? Look at again. Show top albums and songs. All right. Payroll, Dame Dot, King of Detroit, BFB the Pac-Man, Jim Jones, On My Way to Church. It looked like number 5 is Sada, Party Next Door and Drake. And then I got Babyface Ray, Gunna, Codeine Cowboy from Babyface Ray. I got Rio the OG, Larry June, Let God Sort Them Out, and then I Swear Vezo Undefeated. What else? Y'all want to know top songs? I got Tory Lanez in there. Anton need a Nike Tech and Pooh Shiesty, man. How? My stuff is all motivational music. Life get hard, make it look easy. I don't need it. Y'all don't even know that song? I love that song. Hold on, let's get a. No, we don't want that one. We want the real one.
Let's not talk about it. Top 5 dead or alive. Beat to the dead, but I'm better alive. Niggas standing on business and I'm dead over pride. Well, I've been jumping this shit, you niggas never arrive. I'm coming through shit, you niggas never outside. Check with the feds, see the terror outside. Running through my passport, stop me at the custom. They don't know, should they let them pass or should they cuff them? Dealing with cadets, I made it through the ranks. Signing all the checks, I done made it to the bank. Put a beam on your stream, don't get sprayed up for a prank. I put the car in the shop and then they made it to a tank. Whip all bullied up, my niggas all fully up. Back to back, my niggas start pulling up. All I see is cash through the way we be putting on. Talk about no fashion, bitches know that I put it on. Gun in the vest, what you should've worn. I'll put some holes in your tech, don't get your hoodie torn.
Gotta run that back.
Let's not talk about it. Top 5 dead or alive. R.I.P. to the dead, but I'm better alive. Niggas standing on business and I'm dead over pride. Well, I've been jumping this shit, you niggas never arrive. I'm coming through shit, you niggas never outside. Check with the feds, see the terror outside. Running through my passport, stop me at the custom. They don't know, should they let them pass or should they cuff them? Dealing with cadets, I made it through the ranks. Signing all the checks, I done made it to the bank. Put a beam on your stream, don't get sprayed up for a prank. I put the car in the shop and then they made it to a tank. Whip all bullied up, my niggas all fully up. Back to back, my niggas start pulling up. All I see is cash through the way we be putting on. Talk about no fashion, bitches know that I put it on. Gun in the vest, what you should've worn. I'll put some holes in your tech, don't get your hoodie torn.
I love Jimmy. I love that Jim Jones. I love it. I love Jim Jones. It is the best. Jim Jones is a beast, bro. What? Y'all say y'all having a problem with Jimmy? Don't worry about it. Let me give you a little bit more Jimmy.
Maybe you should kiss me then. You know I was terrified. Promise that I won't
So much
again.
things we gotta address.
Feel your lips in mine. Maybe you should kiss me then. You know I was terrified. Promise that I won't
Hey, yo,
again.
Way more important shit.
what you cooking up?
Revolution getting closer. Please pay attention. Media is a lie, trying to sway your attention. That's why everything I say is with intention. If it's beef in the streets, then right away you feel attention. Keep your head on swivel. Watch your surroundings. Got a line on a nigga. Let me know who's around him. Drop the low. He's in too deep. Let him know we'll drown him. So if we got it up it, then you know we gotta down him. Head to the streets, hand on a brick. You niggas got feet, you better stand on that shit. Stand on it. Water on my chest, 100 grand on my wrist. My eyes on the prize like a championship. My guys outside like they camping and shit. Putting bass on the block like they got amps on that shit. Need champagne so I can cancel that bitch. Sit you niggas down cause I won't stand for that shit. Niggas on my sons, it's like Sanford and shit. I put coke on the stove and now my pants hear that shit. Let your parents hear this shit. Drop the shit tonight, let your fans hear this shit, nigga.
Keep your head up, stay solid around here. Only the strong can really survive. And if you need me, just call me, I'll be here for you. Whenever you need me, call me, I'll be here for you. Are you willing to pray to God for your dream to come true? You waiting on God or is he waiting on you? Are you wasting your time hoping or you seeing it through? Going in, I'ma take the green, I know it don't come out the blue. Chasing money, dying to live, but I'm just glad I'm alive. They was driving right past a nigga, I was standing outside. Fire stayed on my hip, I was playing with that fire. I hope my niggas ain't went to hell, that's why I stare at the sky.
Maybe you should kiss me then. You know I was terrified. Promise that I won't again. Feel your lips in mine. Maybe you should kiss me then. You know I was terrified. Promise that I won't again. Feel your lips in mine.
All right, we got to get back to the show. Enough is enough. Y'all better stop disrespecting Jimmy, bro. Y'all better stop disrespecting Jimmy like y'all don't have no, like y'all don't understand that he got the best catalog out of Dipset. I'm not gonna ever let nobody disrespect Jim. I love Jim Jones's catalog. Real talk. All right. Netflix. Let's get into this Netflix conversation. Man, I love music. Netflix bought Warner Brothers. We got to get into that. I got that alert last night.
Got some news. We're going to go to literally
Warner
right
Brothers,
now.
The shares are halted. Warner Brothers Discovery shares are halted. So I don't know. It could.
I think we are here.
It's out.
I think we've been waiting for it.
Press release is out.
Press release is out. And let's explain to the public what's happening here.
Not the biggest secret in the world that Netflix.
Netflix is the winner.
Is the winner, and the deal's done apparently at this point, and the details will be forthcoming, and we'll see whether regulatory muster becomes a problem. I know that at least Warner Brothers is halted at this point. I figure Netflix probably is at this point. Or let's see, following, it will be after, obviously, the separation of, some of the cable.
Well, you have two deals going on here. So you have
that one happened.
Netflix is going to be buying the streaming business.
$27.75 a share. It says cash and stock for
$27.75. And most importantly, on the regulatory side of this deal, if you're looking, the breakup fee is $5.8 billion.
More than.
So, people have been discussing how regulators would think about this transaction.
Right. Equity value, $72 billion. And total enterprise value, $82.7 billion at this point.
That's with the debt piece of it.
That's with the debt.
Right.
It is one of the most storied, Warner Brothers, one of the most storied studios and entities in Hollywood, obviously. And it culminates, I guess, with Zaslav able to deliver, I guess you would say, to shareholders at this point of Warner Bros. A heck of a lot better than $12 or $11 a share.
Given where it had fallen to.
Given where it had fallen to.
The big question on the regulatory side is going to be, the argument effectively here is if you look at the Paramount transaction, that would have effectively taken out a studio, right? In this case, you're not taking out a studio. That's a big part of the argument. The other argument that Netflix is effectively going to have to make, and Time Warner is going to have to make, or I should say Warner Brothers is going to have to make effectively, is to argue that it's not just looking at the marketplace in the context of streaming itself, but to look at it in the context of time spent online, eyeballs and the like. You're going to have to effectively include YouTube viewing and Amazon Prime and so many others, so that you're not just looking at the paid streaming business. What you looking at there?
All right, so let me break this down. I'm gonna share with y'all Wall Street Journal's details of it because they splitting off some of the services. All right, so this is the breakdown of it, and I can't wait to get in the stock club. I think I'm gonna do an emergency because I told y'all in the live stream last night that I was going to be doing at least 2 a week live streams. I'm moving it up, and hopefully I can span it up to about 4 to 5 streams a week in Patreon alone. So I'm going to be pivoting more into doing content in the Patreon. And so last night we did the business one. This weekend, I think I'm gonna do a stock club, and then we're gonna go from there. So with that being said, so Warner Brothers is to split its studios and HBO Max streaming business from its cable networks. Paramount and Comcast also have made offers. So it goes in and say Netflix has agreed to buy Warner Brothers for $72 billion after entertainment company splits, and then obviously other additional splits and fees bring that up to roughly $83 billion. Says that after the entertainment company splits its studios and HBO Max streaming business from its cable networks, a deal that could reshape the entertainment and media industry. Now, I think that a lot of that is not only just because, they want to make sure that they get the right assets, but I think it's also because they want to avoid antitrust and they want to make sure that they're competing, and so they don't have any problems when it comes to regulatory approval. So, again, we're going to deep dive into this in Stock Club because I've been all over it this morning. That's all I've been reading about and studying about all this morning. The cash and stock transaction Friday after the two sides entered into an exclusive negotiation for the media company known for Superman and Harry Potter movies as well as hit TV shows Friends. All right. The offer is valued at $27.75 per Warner Discovery share and has an enterprise value of roughly $83 billion. Rival Paramount, which sought to buy the entire company, including Warner Cable Networks, bid $30 per share for an all-cash for Warner Discovery. According to people familiar with the matter, Paramount is weighing its next move. People familiar with its plans. A lot of these companies are just trying to survive, to be honest with you. This is on Netflix's website. Today, Netflix, the company, announced they have entered into a definitive agreement under which Netflix will acquire Warner Brothers, including its film and television studios. The cash and stock transaction is valued at, we already read that. Transaction is expected to close after the previous announced separation of Warner Brothers Global Division, Networks Division, Discovery Global, into a publicly traded company, which is now expected to be completed in Q3. Which the reason why I'm deep diving into this, because Warner Brothers is still going to exist, but that part of their portfolio is what Netflix is buying. So Netflix has no interest in building out or being a part of their cable network and then other divisions of Warner Brothers, but it wants its catalog. Netflix is buying the catalog. Netflix does not want to be in the cable business because Netflix is in its own streaming business. So the thing that's going to make this unique, and the reason why we need to break this down inside a stock club, is not only because we want to know what the target is as far as where Netflix is going to go, but I also need to understand where they're spending this off at. Are they getting rid of debt that Warner Brothers have, and they're spinning it off into the new company also, which is one of the reasons that they're probably issuing a new stock offering and making this company its own new publicly traded company now that it's separating and it's splitting off assets. What assets are being split? Which assets are most valuable? How does this allow for Netflix to be able to compete because they have their own product category and library? Because remember, when Disney, prior to the pandemic, when Disney, or during the pandemic, when Disney was deciding, before they brought Bob Iger back, when Disney was deciding that they wanted to basically pull the majority of their catalog because they were launching Disney Plus, because they needed product to market to people to help them to subscribe to Disney Plus, that then was something that people were concerned about with Netflix, because they were saying that, did Netflix have their own catalog or enough original programming to be able to withstand the hit that Disney Plus and other new streaming companies like Peacock and stuff like that, when they were creating their own streaming companies to try to compete against the Amazons, the Netflix, the Apple Plus, or the Apple TV Plus, Disney Plus. Disney has largely sputtered in that way, right? So what exactly is this including? What are they breaking off from the company, and what are they deciding to keep? My guess is that they want to keep the majority of the assets as far as the catalog, the Friends, the Superman franchise, all of that stuff. And they want to license it, and they also want to make it exclusive for Netflix, which allows for them to be able to, leverage that product category in order to get more subscribers to the platform and continue to grow the revenue. The debt, or the cost, the ancillary costs that go along with this $83 billion, $82.7 billion acquisition is negligent compared to what value that they think that this catalog will actually be able to bring back to them, especially with a market cap somewhere in the $300 to $400 billion range. I think that this is a good investment for Netflix. Again, we're going to look at the numbers. We're going to look at the charts, and we'll be able to look at the debt, because a lot of times with these companies, what they'll do is they'll spin off a new company based off of what they want from that catalog or what they want from the company, and then they'll spin off the new company, and then they'll have a new initial public offering, a new IPO for that company. But then what makes that attractive is how much of it is going to be debt laden, right? How much debt does Warner Brothers have, and what will be spent off in order to ensure that Netflix still remain a healthy company? Because if you remember, when Disney actually bought, I believe they had bought Time Warner. Remember that? Remember when Disney, but they bought it with stock, and debt. So they took on debt in order to acquire their product catalog and library, and that really started kicking Disney's ass, especially when the pandemic hit, right? So you said, does it include the studios? I don't think it includes the studios. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that they want the studios. I think that Netflix is cool. And I don't think that they should get the studios. I don't think that they want the studios, the cable network. I think it's a lot of things that they don't want. I think that they just want the product catalog in the library. You know what I'm saying? So I'm deep diving into it. It goes in to say the acquisition brings together two pioneering entertainment businesses, combining Netflix's innovation, global reach, and best-in-class streaming service. Warner Brothers' century-long legacy of world-class storytelling, beloved franchises, shows, and movies such as The Big Bang Theory. Oh, that's a big one. The Sopranos, Game of Thrones, Wizard of Oz, DC Universe, Wednesday, Money Heist, Bridgerton, Adolescence, Extraction, all of that stuff. Oh, this is big, bro. This is big. Which we all knew. I know it. We all knew that Netflix was probably going to be the lead bidder in this whole thing. And we knew Comcast and other different companies like Paramount was going to be making a pitch and a bid for it. Let me see something. Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Batman. Shit, you gotta subscribe to Netflix now. You gotta subscribe. It will give Netflix control of some of the industry's most valuable intellectual property. That's crazy. You can't turn off your Netflix now. You gotta have it. You have to have Netflix now, bro. Streaming giants submitted two proposals earlier this week that vaulted it ahead of Paramount's offers, according to sources familiar with it. I know some of you are surprised that we're making this acquisition, and I certainly understand why. Over the years, we have been known to be builders, not buyers, but this is a rare opportunity and is going to help us achieve our mission to entertain the world and to bring people together. That's big. I think that Netflix did the right thing, because Netflix used to be the type of company that did everything from the inside out. Did a lot of Netflix originals. They would be at a lot of the film festivals, buying up films and stuff like that, being exclusive. I think that they absolutely do big things. They spent a lot of money on comedy, Dave Chappelle and all of them. Netflix agreed to the same costly breakup fee that Paramount proposed during the auction process. This means that the would-be buyer would pay Warner Brothers billions of dollars if the deal is not completed. And so obviously it's subject to regulatory approval. I just seen something about Elizabeth Warren has something to say. Let me see what that was. Well, of course, the politicians is going to get fucking involved. Elizabeth Warren calls Netflix Warner Brothers deal a nightmare, warns of higher subscription prices and fewer choices. What? Get the fuck out of here. I hate politicians. If somebody doesn't want this subscription, then they don't have to subscribe. What do you mean? I hate these politicians. Why are they even in on this? This deal looks like an anti-monopoly nightmare that would create one massive media giant with the control of close to half of the streaming market, threatening to force Americans into higher subscription prices and fewer choices over what and how they watch, while putting American workers at what? I don't get it, bro. You got more competition than ever before. You got Disney Plus, you got Apple TV, that is subsidized by the Apple brand. You have Amazon Prime that is basically subsidized, and they trying to control all the sports. You got Disney Plus. What more do you want? There's more competition than ever before, and you got YouTube, and you got the streamers, and you got Twitch, which is owned by Amazon. Why wouldn't they? Come on, man. Get these fucking politicians out of here, bro. Get these politicians out of here, bro. I'm not feeling it. Netflix is not even close to being a monopoly, bro. Netflix is not even close to being a monopoly. Not even close. And the difference between Netflix and all of these other streaming companies is that Netflix is just a streaming company. Netflix is not subsidized by the rest of the businesses. So Apple is subsidizing Apple TV. Amazon is subsidizing Amazon Prime. The Disney brand and its parks and its theme parks is all subsidizing Disney Plus, Paramount, Comcast. All of these companies have other businesses that's subsidizing their streaming service. The reason why Netflix is so great is because Netflix focused 100% on streaming alone. And then you got YouTube, the YouTube universe. Come on, man. Stop, bro. Stop. Netflix needs to come throw me a bag on the low. Netflix need to throw me a bag. Anton Daniels on Netflix exclusive. Make sure you go ahead and get that out there to the people. Nah, I think YouTube is always going to be the number one. I think YouTube is always going to be number one because YouTube is controlled by the people. I mean, the company is owned by Alphabet and Google, but YouTube is owned as far as the type of content that's being put out by the people. So, all right. All right, that's what's going on. That's what's happening. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we keep it moving. Let me see. What was I talking about? All video one, broke mentally, have high expenses. Broke mentally, they have high expenses with lower income, and they're broke. Top watch channels. This is when y'all was telling me to show my the 4 million in the markets. Tech coach Ralph, King DJ Trick says, if a millionaire complaining the numbers of banks too low, I read that one. Retiring the OF girl. 4 to 5 cities. We don't want Unc talking like that. He lost the bag. Oh, well, some of it says TS Car Wash. Don Drill says, appreciate you, AD. I love when someone throwing a shot. DCVA. Good weather. Yeah. All right, so here's the new ones. B-Rod. Oh, you read that one. Yo, AD, I've been DOA into Fidelity AI investor. My portfolio was up 14% this year compared to the S&P. Would you ever try an AI advisor? I am the advisor. I do my own research, but I'll take into consideration what they say. Drake, Soldier Boy voice. Drake. Happy Friday, AD. What up, Billy Ray Valentine says, miss you, hey bag chasers. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Show top albums and songs. I did that. Smooth Cut Production says, why don't you upload the Millionaire Morning Show as an audio podcast? It's probably a bag you're missing out on. Well, tell me how that actually benefits me, and then I'll talk about it. Manasseh J. King React says, Chasers, put y'all replay in the Discord. Yeah. Huh? Didn't know you was a huge Drake fan. Detroit artist Dwele is cool. I like Dwele. Sigma the Prince. Shout out to you. Brother 810 says Babyface don't miss. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says that Jim song, Outside song is tough. The Game dropped today. It's dope. Check it out. The Wale album is still in your rotation. Yeah, Wale is in my rotation. Let me see what Game talking about. I might have to do a stream for I might have to add music reviews over the room now. What's new? Cascade, Money Man drop, Kylie Christmas, The Game and DJ Drama. Lil Drago, Flow 4, Drago Flow 4, Big Crit drop. Every movie needs a trailer. How many songs this got? 18 songs. We'll check it out.
One day I gotta give a Cartier. In this material world, it's hard to say. History of the making.
I like it. He got that he sampled
Tell them girls don't trip and boot up like LMA. Woke up and chose silence for the things I never say. When you run up on my car, you gonna get this. When I'm dropping my roof, I'm dropping your roof too. Got a Drake for all the dogs, don't make a nigga roof too.
Yeah, Game is honestly, I personally believe, I know that this is gonna be a hot take, but we got to move on with the show. I personally believe the Game is the best rapper on the West Coast, bar none. A lot of people don't like Game's antics. They don't like the fact that he be posting dick pics back in the day on his Instagram and shit like that. Game is by far and has been the best rapper on the West Coast for a long time now. Yes, he is. Yes. You know what? I'm doing a Saturday live stream and I'm going to make my pitch for this shit. We're doing a Saturday live stream on After Hours. We're doing a Saturday live stream on After Hours. Or maybe I'll do a Sunday before Frame Fights. Game has been the best rapper on the West Coast for better part of 15, 16, 17 years, bro. Probably more. There is not a better rapper on the West Coast than Game. There is not a better rapper on the West Coast than Game. Game is better than anybody on the West Coast. There is no Kendrick Lamar could not touch Game's boots. That's a fact. No, Kendrick cannot. Game will toast Kendrick's boots. He will put Kendrick on a board. Ain't nobody. I love Filthy Rich. I love Filthy. Shout out to 50. Shout out to Big 5'9". Nobody is fucking with Game. Nobody fucking with Game. So y'all could say that. Y'all could do whatever it is that y'all want to do. Say what you want to say. Nobody is fucking with Game. Nobody can out-rap Game. Not on the West Coast. Game make better music than everybody on the West Coast. Nobody is touching the Game. Nobody. Zero. There's people that are more popular. There's people that sell out better arenas. They, make bigger sales. But as far as purely on music, on just some music shit, nobody is fucking with Game. All across the board is a more complete rapping ass artist in the Game. Nobody. But we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll do a game. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a game this weekend if I have time. We're gonna do a Game album review. I'm not gonna listen to it right now. I'm gonna listen to it on the weekend. And we're gonna live in there. I don't give a fuck about what he said on Drink Champs. I know what I like. I know what I listen to. If you're asking me to put in, if you say Anton, you got to take a drive down to Atlanta. You got to drive down to Atlanta for 10 to 12 hours. And you got the choice between going with Kendrick's catalog or the Game's catalog. I'm taking Game all day long. Documentary 2, I'm taking that shit. Documentary, I'm taking that shit. I'm taking the game's catalog all day long. If I have to pick a catalog on who I'm going to listen to on a road trip, I'm picking the game. Fuck is you talking about? I'm not picking Kendrick over Game on a road trip. Is y'all smoking crack? Kendrick don't have an album that's better than the documentary, in my opinion. Good Kid, Mad City is up there. Some people say Good Kid, Mad City is one of the greatest of all time. I agree. But if I got to listen to it front to back on a road trip, I'm taking a documentary, bro. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about, bro. I'm taking Game all day long. I'm taking Game's catalog before I listen to that Kendrick shit every day of the week. I'm taking a documentary. Anton, you're going to be stuck in prison for a year. You want to listen to Good Kid, Mad City, or you want to listen to the documentary? Give me the documentary, nigga. Give me the documentary. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. Y'all not listening, man. Y'all going off this popular shit. Y'all not listening, bro. We'll talk about it on the weekend. Let's see. Walmart kicking off a drone delivery program in Atlanta. Eric Adams issue executive. Oh, y'all was talking about this. We'll talk about this. Let's get into this right here.
Now from Fox, we're turning our attention to a story that takes us down to Florida after more than 90,000 pounds of a substance or a drug said to contain deadly amounts of opioids.
Y'all said, man, listen, you seen what my top is. I don't listen to Kendrick. And I tried to get that GNX a pop. Oh, man, that shit is going to age so bad. Y'all don't even like GNX. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it on the weekend.
It was seized in northern Florida. Joining us live now to discuss this and bring an update to this entire situation is Fox 35 Orlando's Marley Capper. She is joining us now. Marley, this is a huge amount that was seized by police.
Good morning. Yeah, the suspect has actually had prior involvement with police as early as the age of 19. That's according to the sheriff's office here. And right now they're calling this case Breaking Bad on steroids. Take a look at the video. You can see the deputies say they teamed up with the DEA, ATF, and Palm Bay police to confiscate 92,000 pounds of a substance used to make a drug known as 7-OH, a drug that's 3 times stronger than morphine. Florida recently passed an emergency law banning it. Investigators say the suspect, 26-year-old Maxwell Horvata, also had materials to create large amounts of explosives.
So he basically Jesse Pinkman. It sounds like he's Jesse Pinkman. And now what they're trying to do when they're saying that he had the large amount of explosives is probably the same chemicals that makes whatever it is that he got with this substance. And so they're going to probably try to charge him as though he had chemicals to be able to make the explosion in order to make the charges stick. He Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. That's what it sounds like.
Along with 36 guns and thousands of rounds of ammunition.
It's Jesse Pinkman.
Folks, this is what danger looks like right here. Everything that you see behind us, everything you see in front of us is a red flag for disaster. It is. I mean, you look, the guy was making his own suppressors, fully automatic weapons, explosive devices. This guy was either looking to engage war or looking to arm those and furnish to those that are. And you see, even had, as you can see in the video, even had a 50 cal on a tripod ready to do serious damage.
The sheriff's office says this is the largest seizure of its kind in U.S. history, and that Hrvatia could spend the rest of his life in federal prison. Currently, he is in the Brevard County Jail. Sheriff Wayne Ivey says he is waiting on federal indictment. For now, reporting live for Live Now with Fox, Marley Capper. We'll send these back to you.
All right, Marley, thanks so much for joining us there in Brevard County. I do want to take us out to some more of that footage that we have here, courtesy of investigators who seized all of these illegal drugs. And as you heard from Marley's report there, she played a little bit of an update that we had from those same investigators. I do have the full presser, if you could say, or the news conference that was released not too long, about 5 minutes, but it really breaks down just how serious this case is. As Marley had said, this is the largest drug bust in the nation's history.
What kind of drugs was it specifically, though?
Hello, everyone. I'm Sheriff Wayne Ivey of the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, and I'm standing here with Palm Bay Chief Odell. We're going to give you a breakdown on a case that our agencies work today along with DEA, ATF, other federal task force members. I'm going to start out by saying what you see lying on the table in front of us with all the guns. A lot of these weapons are automatic weapons. We'll get into some of the meat and potatoes of this in just a second. But what's even more concerning, the boxes that you see behind us, and I'm going to step out of the way where you can take a good look at them. All of these boxes contain, and this is just half of it, by the way, it goes all the way back, contain 92,000 pounds of a extracted substance that's taken out of kratom, the substance kratom, taken out of kratom, and it makes it what's called 7.0, which recently the Florida legislature did an emergency bill to make 7.0 illegal here in the state of Florida. Maxwell Horvath is who we have in custody.
So when he says that they did an emergency bill to make it illegal, it sounds like, all right, so let me tell you how I see it. I believe that what's really happening was he found a way to make money while at the same time avoiding authorities because he wasn't selling a manufactured drug that was already illegal. So, for example, he wasn't selling heroin. He wasn't selling fentanyl. He wasn't selling marijuana in a large quantity. He wasn't selling cocaine. He wasn't selling any illegal drugs. So in order to get him, because see what the guy really did was he did a life hack. He said, listen, I'm not selling anything illegal. So once they got onto him, they got legislation to do an emergency hearing where they basically said that the drugs that he was selling is illegal so that they can go and arrest him. And then they was already going to get him on the guns. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like they did an emergency hearing to where they could say, hey, this is now illegal so that they can go and get him, because everything that he was doing, if they was to go in and raid, obviously you minus the guns, you go in and raid, how can you say that this is an illegal substance? He's not selling anything illegal. He was ahead of the law. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like he was ahead of the law. Yep. And so now the police just told you under the new hearing, or under the new law, that is now considered an illegal substance. And so that's when they got an opportunity to arrest him. Well, you can't say tax evasion. And tax evasion, ain't nobody tripping off the goddamn tax evasion. You can't really say tax evasion because that's not what they're charging them with.
For this, Chief, I know you've got the briefing as well as I have.
Let's play that part again.
Earlier, the Chief, and this, by the way, it goes all the way back, contained 92,000 pounds of a extracted substance that's taken out of kratom, the substance kratom, taken out of kratom, and it makes it what's called 7.0, which recently the Florida legislature did an emergency bill to make 7.0 illegal here in the state of Florida.
This just happened. Literally, that just happened in August. They've been on this guy for a long time. In order for them to get him, they had to make it the 7-0 emergency bill in Florida. Likely refers to the Attorney General's emergency rule against 7-hydroxynitrogen, a dangerous kratom extract, enacted in August 2025 with a near unanimous legislation backing, hence the 7-0 or 0 opposition to protect public health, making isolated 7-0 a Schedule 1 drug. It can also point to Florida Senate Bill 180, a broad 2025 emergency bill passed with overwhelming support to improve disaster response and preparedness. Both were significant 2025 legislative actions with emergency implications, but the 7-0 rule was an immediate Attorney General action, while SB80 was a broader law for future emergencies. Now that it's Schedule 1, it could be listed as a controlled substance. They could ban its sale, and they could ban the possession and the distribution of it in Florida. It's stronger than kratom, extracted from kratom. It's highly addictive, and it's stronger than morphine, and it poses a significant health threat, prompting the action from the FDA. He beat him. He was beating him. He was way ahead of the law. And the Food and Drug Administration, because a lot of what you see being used inside of these hospitals and stuff like that is a reformed or it's a medical grade version of it. Fentanyl, for example, I believe is used, but it shouldn't be used on the street. Morphine, all of this stuff is being used in hospitals and different dosages that can be monitored, regulated, and profited off of from the federal government. So he found a way, he had 92,000 pounds of it. He found a way to be able to sell, distribute, and have this substance that was not listed as illegal and was not being targeted by the FDA. And it was stronger. And I don't know too much more about it, but based off what I'm reading right now, they enacted an emergency bill, and that's how they was able to go and track him down and go and get him, because they probably was already on him, but they couldn't charge him with anything. And so that's the way that they went and got him. Boy, oh boy. Talk about a finesse. Then they made it a Schedule 1 in an emergency hearing. You can't get these niggas to go and pass a budget in the state level or on the federal level, but they got an emergency hearing to go and get that done. Made it a Schedule 1, 7-0 vote. Went and got that boy immediately. Listen, bro, you're not going to do nothing without the man getting a cut. You're not going to do nothing without the man getting his cut. What? Nigga, we got to profit off of that in every way. We got to profit off of it when it comes to law and you know, all of that. We got to get our tax money. You got to make sure that you get your cut. The federal government got to get its cut. The local government got to get its cut. We need more funding for police officers and sheriffs, so they got to get their cut. We about to make this a Schedule 1 drug. This is a new opportunity for us to make money and come up. Don't you know that the law is a business? Everything is a business. I told y'all that last night. The law is a business. The law is a business, boy. Politics is business. Said he needed a good lawyer to look into this. Oh, that don't make no difference. You can't fight the state, bro. You trying to fight the state, you try to fight the federal government, you're gonna have a lot of money on hand to do that. Gotta have a lot of money on hand to do that. Boy, don't you know how profitable it is to get into the law? Boy, they got unlimited resources. You fighting the state. I don't think he's going to get life. He's going to get off, but he's going to get out and he's going to do some podcasts, and then he'll go from there. It sounds like he had found a life hack, to be honest with you. He found a life hack. And if they can't regulate it, then you can't make money off of it. And if you tried to do stuff out of the approval, look, man, most of the stuff that you need a doctor for here, you don't need a doctor for in other countries. A lot of the stuff that you need a doctor's and a prescription for here, you don't need it in other countries. The regulation of it is the thing that then makes it profitable on the street. Controlling the market is what makes it profitable on the street. The banning of it from being distributed and needing a prescription from it is what then makes a black market. The black market is what then makes it, is what get people rich. Y'all don't want me to talk about black market businesses, do y'all? Promethazine and codeine is required. You have to have a legal prescription for it. Doctors and all kind of medical professionals made a ton of money off of issuing the prescriptions for it. It's a legal substance, but it's illegal to be distributed without a medical professional's approval, which then creates a black and a gray market for it, which runs the prices up because it's being regulated, and then that's what makes it illegal, and then that's also what helps to profit different government agencies when it comes to the prosecution of it. It is created a market for it. They create a market for it. Create a market for it. Absolutely. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Everything illegal was once legal. Remember that, including prostitution. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Let me look at some of these super chats. Babyface don't miss. That's a fact. That Jim Jones outside song is tough. Game drop today. Tune Soon says put on that new Mobb Deep album, Alchemist Hit Boy album. Rob says thank you for the music commercial break. Society Da Vinci says I might have to learn more on Slimmy's list because this list ain't it. No, Jet Life. Look, man, I listen to Jet Life. I listen. Larry June is on it. Larry June, any Jim Jones song other than Ballin'? Yeah, I pay. See, you don't know nothing about this. You don't know nothing about this. You don't know nothing about it. How many stock splits has Netflix done since 2020? King DJ Trick says, what up, though? $100 a share. Might be the last entry after the 10-1 split. Crimson says, good day, Mr. Daniels. Have a splendid day. You too, love. Love you, Crimson. Wesley Turner says, I still bumps the games. GU not mixtapes. I don't know shit about that. Wavy Haitian says, LaRussell will give game. I love LaRussell. Don't do that to LaRussell. I love LaRussell. Don't do that to LaRussell. But Jamani says, 80, I'm 27 in the games. LAX Files album is untouchable. They don't know ball. They don't know ball at all, bro. Bridget D. What up, Bridget D says, hi, Anton. Happy Friday, chat. Have a blessed weekend. Coach Chris says, 80, no bias. Is Eminem in your top 5 in your opinion? Top 5 what? Artists of all time? Absolutely. Absolutely. M is one of the world's biggest rock stars. He's one of the biggest artists in the world, bro. In the world. TS Car Wash and Detail Services. I told you, AD, I'm putting you on all of the music, big dog, Wale game, etc. I just didn't look to see what came out yet. I got 40 water for the West Coast. Shout out to E. Fonzarelli. Nerd Take says Genius Fox. I'm excited to see DC Comics, Netflix fight Marvel, Disney. They need to bring that Stranger Things energy to the new Harry Potter show. You speaking facts, says Crimson. Slimmy says, AD, I hear you trying to discuss music on Room 9 without me. Who said I was trying to do it without you? Don't play that Jim Jones joint on the stream. Hey, on the low, I sent it to Slimmy, and Slimmy said, yeah, it's kind of dope. No, Slim, I'm thinking about streaming and listening to the Game's album because I said that the Game got a better catalog than Kendrick Lamar. That Game is the best rapper on the West Coast. And the people had something to say about it. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Ooh. It was Slim talking about it was straight. We're going to talk about it probably on the weekend. We'll see. We'll see. Daylight is better. Nope, not better than Slimmy. See, Slimmy understand it too. He said he can't really argue with that. The Game is better than K-Dot. K-Dot is more popularized. K-Dot is more celebrated, but the Game is a better rapper than K-Dot. Just purely based off of music and rapping, Game is better. Ain't nobody better than the Game on the West Coast, and that's just what it is. AD, is Lil Wayne in your top 5? Absolutely. Lil Wayne is all of these niggas' daddy out here that's running around. Wayne is on the route Mount Rushmore. Didn't have any South on that list. I know. It was all Detroit. It was all Detroit on my list. Anton Tech, check out Jay Worthy, Reckless. I'm going to have to look him up. I don't hate the South. I like the South. 8 Ball and MJG. Mr. Mike. Tila. Young Dolph. I listen to Dolph all the time too. And Key Glock. I listen to a lot of people from the South. Detroit is just where it's at, bro. I listen to mostly Detroit music. So we'll check it out. All right, y'all. I gotta go. I need to take a nap. And then I need to get up and start doing some work because I'm behind because I just been sleeping and streaming. I ain't actually been doing what I'm supposed to do. I know your car is like, nigga, you ain't been taking care of business at all. I got to get on this shit. I got to get on it. We got this, Shakar. Facts. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to see y'all tonight on After Hours. Peace.